Okay, so now it's time for part 2 of our PC build guide, where we're going to show you how to cable manage your PC, how to power on PC, and how to set up your BIOS for your PC. If you're not caught part 1 of our PC build guide, make sure to do so. You can do so in the link up above. And yeah, without further ado, let's carry on with part 2 of our PC build guide.
Right, so now you can see we've hooked up the set itself to the monitor, keyboard and mouse. So what we have down here, on first power up, provided everything works, you're gonna see this little screen down here telling me my DRAM frequency is 2133, that's the default, that's okay, that's fine. Number of USB devices I have plugged in, so you can see one keyboard, one mouse and one hub. We'll get to that in a bit. So detected ATA ATAPI device, SATA port 1 WDC, that's the WD RAID drive. So what we're going to do here is we're going to enter the setup, press F1. So we come to here, this is a good point to do a function check. So this is the mode that you will see when you initially enter the BIOS. So I like to use the advanced mode for BIOS, so I'll press F7 first and foremost. Since we have 16 gigs of RAM, you have to make sure memory size 16 gigs, so both of our modules are detected. If you see 8 down here, that means one of the 2 slots is not working. So second thing to check is to see that your BIOS version is the latest. So in this case, it seems to be, so we're not going to update the BIOS here. Let's get into here. System date and time, this one don't need to worry, we'll settle that later. My hard disk is detected, so that's my hard disk. Secondly is that my WD Blue SSD is detected here on the single NVMe slot. So this is how you check everything is there as it should be. So I'm just going to do a quick run through on the setup itself. All this we leave to auto. Serial port disable because there's no serial port header connected to this motherboard, so we're going to disable that. Power management, ERP ready, enable. Make sure that the motherboard is in UEFI mode. Wait on event by, let the OS handle this. One thing that's very important for Ryzen, especially if you're going to be running emulators such as BlueStack or NOPS, or any form of virtual machine whatsoever, is that, okay, for MSI what you do is you come to advanced CPU configuration. You come to here, this SVM mode, by default it is disabled, so what you want to do is you want to enable it. Next off, we come to the RAM configuration itself. Now there are 2 ways you can do this. One is you automatically enable the XMP profile, which takes care of everything for you. But sometimes due to stability reasons, maybe the XMP profile doesn't quite work for you. What you can do is that you come to here, let's disable it back, and you set the frequency manually. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it manually. So we'll go with 3200. We will come to advanced DRAM configuration. So since now we know that we're going to do it manually, so we come to here. For Ryzen, it's always good to go gear down. So since this particular RAM profile is CL16, so we're going to input the timings manually. So this is how you do it manually. But if this is a little bit too complicated for you, what you can do is you just come to here and you just enable XMP profile. Profile 1 or profile 2, whichever floats your boat. So let's try with automatic first. DRAM voltage we'll leave it as auto. Since we've left it on XMP, we'll let the XMP handle that. So right, so we come to here. So this can always be tweaked around later. So we'll leave it as default first. So right, so let's get to it. Right off, so now you can see I have installed MS Windows Win 10 Pro itself. You will notice that one of the first things I'm doing right now, other than the fact that I've gone to install Chrome, who uses Edge, a good practice to do is once you have installed a fresh copy of Windows 10, you pull the updates in from Windows Update before you proceed with your chipset drivers itself. Of course, you'll want to have it such that Microsoft generic drivers come in first, and then you install the specific drivers. In this case, it's a Ryzen set. You want to pop in manufacturer-specific drivers from AMD themselves to override the ones that come from Microsoft. So you want to get it to the point where everything is downloaded and everything is pending a restart. Okay, right. So now that we put in all the Windows Update, we are going to install the chipset drivers from AMD and themselves. So just make sure everything is selected. Then it asks you to reboot. So once this is done, then you install the GPU driver itself. So it's always in this order. Once you install Windows, it's always first thing, Windows Update, second thing, chipset, and finally, your GPU drivers. And after the GPU drivers, then you settle the rest of the drivers, like the onboard audio drivers, maybe if you have a capture card or miscellaneous devices, do it in this order. Next, we come to the GPU driver itself. What I like to do is that for NVIDIA, so we have this, GeForce Experience. Instead of the Express, I like to select Custom. Make sure everything is ticked. and perform a clean installation. Yeah, when you do a clean install, what it does is that it first removes the previous version of the driver and he will go and put in the new one. So we've cleared the GPU drivers and I have also installed my favorite gaming benchmark, the FF15 benchmark itself, but I'm not going to run the test immediately. Why? Because you want to conduct this little test in as accurate environment as you want to be. So the first thing is, before you run this, it is always recommended to make sure that your cables are tied up and all your panels are closed up. So we'll come to here. I'm going to shut down the set first. First off, what we do is that we'll tidy up some of the cables itself. So like this extra power cable, we'll try to tie this up like so. Okay, cut off the excess. That's one. Tie these two together. This has a net effect of actually pulling up the GPU itself. Okay, next we come to the back. So let's deal with that problem. So we'll deal with the rest of this later. Hold on. So a good tip when you're trying to do the cable management here is to have the set lying down like that. So at least it's generally what you will want is for this back section to be able to close properly when you finally get everything in. So you want the cables to be down as flat as possible. My casing has all these little notches down here for a cable tie to go in. Tie up the cables as neatly as I can. Cables tidy, try to tie up as best as I can. Try to close this up. Okay. Okay. All the panels are in. So now we'll come to the one part we're going to do a gaming stress test on the set itself. Yeah, so this is a good point to see how the set is going to behave, how your GPU temperature is going to be right, how your CPU temperatures are going to operate, that kind of thing. Because you want to be able to see how this set behaves as you're actually using it.
Okay, so the PC is finally done and the PC build guide is done. So thank you Gordon for giving us all of his information and details on how to build your first PC. And we hope that with our PC build guide, you will build your first PC for 2021. So if you like our PC build guide, make sure to give us a thumbs up. Write down in the comments if there's anything that you want us to change or do better, or what other PC build guides you'd like to see in the coming months. Make sure to come back to our channel to not miss out on any other future content. Help us make this PC build guide awesome, share with your friends, and build your first PC in 2021. See ya!